Welcome back. This is Arunava Chaudhary, and you are live on my YouTube channel, arunfoot. It's August the 7th, Wednesday, and a tough day, I guess, in Indian sports. But let's see what we talk about, and back to the usual football, so to say, in the last few days, of course. Or we'll speak a little bit of Olympics, I guess, as well. So that is that. Let's start talking. May I ask if Hyderabad FC don't get licensed, then what about players? Will players able to sign other teams? Umair, I think we'll have to look at it from a case-to-case basis. Normally, to me, the one or the other case already is with the player status committee. Others will most probably go to the player status committee. So it'll be interesting. Again, they've got about a week to sort everything out. But again, if the Durand Cup is any sign, then the signing is not good for Hyderabad FC. And I think at some stage, then you have to pull the plug. As sad as it sounds, at least for me, it sounds sad that you would have to pull the plug on Hyderabad FC and their future. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Hi, Waman. Welcome back. Sam is the last lesson back today. Good to hear. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I am doing fine. Hope you and all the others who are listening are fine as well. Shini did Antiward signing young player from League 2. They are showing ambition. Average Woody, I think. Shini and on the other side, I guess Interkashi are the two teams who are going to fight it out for the title next season. Hi, Abhishek. I'm doing fine. Hope you are doing fine as well. It's been tough as an Indian sports fan last few days, especially today with the case of Vinesh. Woman, if I see the situation in Indian sports, and if you look at some of the videos that I created pre-Olympics, then I'd said, that there won't be that explosion that certain people expected from India and expected India to get more medals. And that seems to be the reality at the moment. And that's the sad part of, there is expectations among fans of sports or people who somewhat follow sports suddenly in the case of the Olympics. And then the result doesn't come. So to me, I think the big question isn't, I think the athletes, Prakash Padukone has done it. He's questioned an individual athlete and talked about the killer mentality. But the question also is, India, if it wants to be a sports nation, needs to do more for sports. I think the government needs to do more. The federations, and again, the AIFF, I think to some extent is a reflection of what some have, to me, again, football is just an example of how and where, where we stand. So therefore, yeah, sad to see the Vinesh Phogat story. Yeah, it was just a fairy tale. I mean, look at her. She was protesting last year in January, had a serious injury, had to do a lot to come back, beat the best wrestler in the 50 kg category. And then one realizes, listen, too much of weight yesterday, try and get it down, and then you fail it. And then I think the question needs to be asked is, why are all these athletes being pushed a category down? But again, these are realities. So yeah, is it circumstance? Is it something else? I guess we will most probably never know. And again, if you see the blame game, the finger pointing, all of that is sadly happening left, right, and center. So those are realities. And again, I won't be able to change it. You guys won't be able to change it. And therefore, we'll have to live with it. And that's the sad part, I guess. That's the sad part for her, and that's the sad part, I guess, for India and it's for sporting fans, because again, it was just one of those crazy, stories, perfect for a Bollywood movie if she had won the gold medal today, but it wasn't to be. And then we are stuck where we are stuck, and we'll see what happens to that. Hi, Akhil, welcome back. Hi, SB 1994. Thanks a lot. Yeah, a little bit of a haircut was pending, yeah, it's been pending for a while, so got it done today. Have you got the chance to see the Next Gen Cup? How do you rate the competition? Will it help Indian football in long term? Akhil, will it help Indian football in long term? No, it's a 4-day competition of 50-minute matches, pitting Premier League academy sides against Indian under-21 sides and against Stellenbosch. And to me, from that perspective, it's a little bit of exposure for our boys. And one has to understand that all those English teams, at least, are using their whole squads and giving them somewhat international exposure, right? So we are playing against kids. Of course, Punjab FC did play some younger boys. I have to give them that credit. Then again, are these boys really as young as we think? Then, then my head starts rolling again and thinking again. And, to me, yeah, but the reality checks of looking at 50-minute matches and then thinking, you know what, if we were 90-minute matches, I think most likely we would have lost all of these games. That's the scary thought process. But again, Punjab FC, especially number 10 kid again, was one player that I liked. So therefore, those are the realities. And yeah, I've done a video on it. Watch it. Where I've summed up my thoughts on this topic. And to me, again, what it means. Also, if you haven't, just look through the videos that I've made. The Future of Indian Football series is something which I've created with 7 episodes so far. Again, as I said, I've done something on the Next Gen Cup. What could be the learnings from the Indian teams, Indian clubs? Today, there's been news. Man United might be coming to India next year. So let's see if that happens. That's the latest. So therefore, do follow. And as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Yes, so that we can grow the community. And 1,433 is the number. So let's try and get me to 1.5 in the coming days, and then grow even further. So thank you for all of those who are following, and those of you who haven't, do leave a like so more people get to know. 3 likes so far, so I think we can do better, guys. So thanks a lot for that. Please share some transfer updates of ISO teams. SB 1994 at the moment, it's rather quiet. I think it will pick up again towards the end of this month, before the transfer window closes. I think there's 1 or 2 positions in a lot of teams that are still potentially open. So we'll have to wait and see how they can. And rather, any update on Mumbai City FC new signings or any new on the players that's targeting. As I said, Indian centre back and Indian defensive midfielder, but there is no update at the moment. The reason behind Julian and Connor leaving respectively to Atletico Madrid, Woman, to me, Julian Alvarez simply cannot get past Erling Haaland. So therefore, he was looking for a new challenge. Conor Gallagher wanted a long-term contract from Chelsea, didn't get it, and therefore is leaving. And Atletico is rebuilding the team. I think, yeah, that's good news. Good news for Atletico Madrid, and good news, of course, for La Liga as well. Good evening, Ogni. According to the most beautiful Olympic host to date, Athens, Rio, London, which Olympic had a charm? Ogni, I wasn't at any of these Olympics, so for me to say, which Olympics had what charms. I mean, I know London as a city, I know Paris as a city, I know Barcelona as a city as well. If you say afterwards of having visited cities, I think Barcelona was the Olympics where it had the most effect on the city afterwards. But again, if otherwise charm, again, if I'm not there, it's, I think, very, very difficult, to, as a couch potato, so to say, to talk about that. Sorry, where did that go? Sorry, is I think wrong to then talk about charm of an Olympics. One more question, sir. Can any team sign a pre-contract with a player who's already contracted, no contract, or current contract? SB 1994, you can only do in the last 6 months of a contract. You can first approach a player, but you need to tell the club which is leaving, where the club which is set to release the player. Now, in this case, you have, when a player is on loan, you have to actually tell the club which loaned the player. But in this case, there were 3 years to go. So to me, the logic doesn't apply. Ogni sir, on 10th August, all Anwar status will be over. Like same day, PSC will decide ban on clubs and competition amount of same day or different hearing and or different issues. Ogni, this is a very complex one. Yeah. So to me is in the Anwar case, the PSC has already said that the player has broken his contract. So that is something which has been established in the last hearing. Now the question is, what is East Bengal's reply? What is Delhi FC's reply? That will be discussed. And once that is discussed, then they will decide on the respective bans, fines, compensations, whatever. You know. So therefore, for me, the question at the moment isn't about what's the final outcome, because I don't know, not sure. There might be a third hearing in this case. It might be a judgment maybe on Anwar personally, but I think on the clubs, there might be another hearing. Obviously, generalization, government doesn't assign any funds due to financial constraints. People in power don't want to spend in other welfare. Yeah, I mean, Abhishek, to me, sports always is soft power. And the question is, how well can you use, you know? And, you know, we see how much of desperation there is on a front, on the Indian psyche to be successful at Olympics. But people forget the Olympic sports for the next 4 years and then think about it when the games are around the corner. So that's our problem, and that it doesn't work that way. See the passion last night, India, Germany in the hockey. Watch today, France, Germany in the handball. What you saw yesterday, forget that. Just watch the handball and see the craziness of that game. Can you tell about Grassroots suspension has been covered in Scotland? Ripam, I wouldn't know. Did he get a red card or something? How many matches? I would have to check. I'm not aware of anything at the moment. Hi, Ishan. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Welcome back. These politicians think they're doing favor by spending in sport and science if there's property. Yeah, it looks like it. That's very well said, Blue. If Hyderabad doesn't play, then all the 40 players will be free agents. Ogni, theoretically, yes. Practically, no. It depends on which player salary has been paid, which player salary has not been paid. You know, and again, we see that, for example, Abdul Rabe, they're trying to get some money out of it, out of a transfer fee. So we'll have to wait and see. How did Molina as coach? He worked with Spanish FA for a long time, 2018, 2023. Ogni, as much as I know, again, I know him from his ISL days as a coach. He was a technical director of the Spanish FA. He's done very, very good work with the Spanish FA. You know, so therefore, for me, he's going to be a tough taskmaster. That's what I understand. And let's wait and see what he can get. What he can get out of the team. How much time FIFA appeals take, submission, hearing, and verdict? Only case-to-case basis, importance. Yeah. Second about our sportsmen telling how much money the government spent on Vinesh in Parliament. Does any minister in any country ever do start a discussion in the West today? No. I think that's another summary of how, you know, sports is perceived in India, and it's not a priority for these people. And yeah, we're suffering from that, right? We're suffering from that, and we see the end result is that the result of what we saw, what happened, right? Or what's happening again on social media. It's trolling of the athlete, of the coaches, of the doctors, of this, that, of Indian sports, everything. What do you think? Positive, negative, Bajaj asking this as he seems a controversial figure. On hand, he has a lot of contribution, grassroots criticizing effort. Sometimes he makes no sense. Abhijit, you have spoken about the positives. I don't want to talk about the negatives because I think that list is quite long as well. Contribution to grassroots. I don't know if overage players is a contribution to grassroots, then congratulations. Good evening, Shomik. Former US soccer player which joins FSA and was at the grassroots in India. Would that help Indian football? Sunil Gulati is his name. What is FSA, if I can now ask? I don't know what FSA. I think it's high time the Federation of FSDL invite, if not Premier League teams, at least championship teams match and to a preseason tournament. Akhil, no one will come. The Federation and FSDL don't have the money to spend on even on a championship team to come to India. This is a high cost. As someone who's done the Bayern Munich trips to India, I know what the cost involved in this. And therefore, for me, forget the AIFF and FSDL as well. They've got other priorities and other problems. Greg was suspended last year for showing the referee how much money was taken from. That's why he signed for them so that he gets the same favor. I think that suspension has been put off had to do in Scotland. Suppose a player gets a 3-match ban in a league and moves to a different league in a different country. Does the ban get carried over? Yes, Ripam, it does. I can tell you a practical example. It happened to Mumbai City in the first season with Nicholas Anelka. Nicholas Anelka got a 5-match suspension at West Bromwich Albion. They had 2 matches left in that season at West Brom, and the other 3 matches he was suspended in India for Mumbai City. So, yes, it does. I want to know one thing, and was it different for you to support one team in semi-final fixture of India's every hockey match? Just ask. Abhishek, I was just looking at the game. I've got a bigger connection to the German hockey team because I know a couple of guys in that team. And that was it. But again, it was a good game. And in the end, I will honestly say, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I thought Germany were overall the better team. India was much better at the start, but I think the longer the game lasted, Germany took charge of the game. And especially in last 10, if CJs doesn't make some exceptional saves, I think Germany run riot with that game. So therefore, from that perspective, but again, Shamsher could have equalized 5 or 6 seconds before the end. But I would still say, so let's see. Your opinion about the mainstream media spreading BS like we would get severely injured and fans supporting this. Blue, this shows them the lack of knowledge. That is the problem, the lack of knowledge and understanding how sports work, right? So therefore, and you can't declare her injured because she has to go then through a medical. And if that medical just says, hey, listen, she's fit to compete, then she has to compete. So it's not that easy. It is not easy for them to do that. And therefore, I don't know what these people are trying to do. Honestly, I honestly don't know what these people are trying to do. The reality is she was overweight. As much as I hate it, to be honest, I feel very sad for her. But that's the reality. So if I like it, you like it, someone else likes it or not. That's the reality of her being overweight and therefore not allowed to compete. And, pushing the time to some other time, whatever, all of those things, it's the Olympics. It's not some para tournament, some local tournament where, sorry, I'm coming back in now, just take. No, it's not. It's the Olympics. You're going to fight. You're gonna go in a bout for the Olympic gold medal. These rules are there, and she's not the first athlete these Olympics who failed the weight. So there are other athletes in wrestling, in judo, in weightlifting who have failed their weight class. Hi Sanskar, I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well as well. Molina versus Hub, say strict task, must the players respect stricter sessions? I've not seen their sessions too closely in the recent past, but Ogni. So therefore, but I would say both of them are of the stricter kind. Maybe Molina is even stricter than Havas. Like and subscribe. Yes, Blue. Thanks a lot for saying that. Those of you who haven't, please like this video, like this channel, subscribe to this channel. 1434. We're inching slowly towards the 1,500 mark. So please, let's grow the channel. 13 likes so far in this video. So thank you very much always for coming back, for your contribution, and let's grow the community as always. And yeah, and try and do that. AIFF referring batting for VR and ISF, is it even financially viable? Ishan, at some stage, VR most probably will come to India. Sorry, what am I saying? Let me start again. If I understand things right, then I think VR will come to India at some stage in some sort of form or way. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, but it'll happen. And financially viable. What is in Indian terms financially viable? You know, that's, if you want to generalize, nothing in Indian football is financially viable these days. Mohun Bagan and East Bengal's ACL fight, how tough it's going to be, your views? Shomik, it's going to be very tough. Mohun Bagan already is in there. East Bengal has to qualify, but this ACL 2 is tougher, you know, than the AFC Cup. So let's see what happens. See, they wants the news a lot with their player visiting Bagan. Are they still operating? Yeah, so they were surely are still operating in Delhi and are part of the second tier. Men's underdog performance was in the Olympic. Men's underdog. I think yesterday's 1500 meter race, I think, where the Norwegian was beaten, who was sort of, everyone said it was unbeatable. So that was a surprise to me. In India, simply didn't convert the chances last night. Easy to blame the decision. Honestly, we let ourselves down. Even the chance in the dying moments was rather easy one. Ishan, yes, but forget on the other side, Germany had enough chances also to score. I think after the 3-2, Germany should have finished off the game, especially when the time when the goalkeeper is out, if they play it more smartly. You know, the save against Velen as well. Again, you know, so therefore, that's it. But I say the better team won in the end. Hi, Kumar. Welcome back. Is there a squad registration limit? I say, Rupam, yes. Number has been going up and down. I think at the moment it's 30, if I'm not wrong. You know, so let's see what happens. East Bengal fans still thinks that East Bengal is one of the biggest and oldest club in India. No, nothing rules can go versus East Bengal. So East Bengal will never get banned. What's your view on this? It's sad to see. But again, if it was Mohun Bagan in this situation, Mohun Bagan fans would do the same thing. I think the Blasters have shown disrespect to rules as well in regard to supporting their coach when they walked out. I think it's a general problem. It's not pinned on the East Bengal fans. But what shocks me is that those who I thought were sensible East Bengal fans seems to have also that they you know, there are a lot of sensible people who bit of understanding, I thought, seems to have lost the plot. Because what East Bengal has done is wrong, period. You have approached a player who is signed to another club. No question about it. Normally, the people who have done this should come out in public, say sorry and resign. This is what happened in a real football club. But in India, this doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in the AIFF. It doesn't happen in the clubs. Nobody takes accountability. And why can I say that? I did. After season 1, I was disappointed and I resigned from Mumbai City because I realized, I for myself said, I have failed. I have failed. And people afterwards told me they were about to fire you anyway. And I thought, okay. But I have morals. I have ethics. I want to do the things the right way, even if it takes longer. But I did it at the time. And this is what I find shocking in Indian football these days that left, right, and center, people build themselves up and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah, whatever BS, you know, and you're part of the problem, you're not part of the solution. And I say that now publicly. People are part of the solution. If you're part of the problem, just get out of the way. Don't be involved in Indian football anymore. Nobody wants you, nobody needs you. Indian football is already going from one low to another because of people who think that they are, you know, a God's gift to Indian football. They are the parasites of Indian football who are literally sucking the life out of football. So get lost, get out of it. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're doing something wrong, just be honest. You know, that's the reality. All right, righteousness, exactly for Putin, you mentioned need support. This really a black day. Bro, that's the reality of our world. Forget India. It's a global phenomenon. Look at what's happening in America. Look at what's happening in the UK or other parts of Europe. Look at, you know, look at how whoever stands where is interpreting the Bangladesh situation in a way. When I was in Vinesh Phogat's case, she should have maintained 1 kilo less a safety factor. Kumar, how can you say that? Do you understand how tough it was for her to go down a category and fight in that category? It's easy for you wherever you're sitting to say that, but it is very, very tough for an athlete to maintain. I've got friends here in my town, Remscheid, AIFF judo team, top of the German judo Bundesliga, right? The coach is someone who in the last Olympics won a judo bronze medal. I mean, he's told me multiple times his weigh-ins are the toughest things in all these sports where you have to have weigh-ins. Judo, wrestling, weightlifting. It's the toughest thing to maintain because you're trying to hit a spot, and after you're done, you're gonna be taking in proteins and liquids again to get your to put your weight up again. So to say that 1 kilo less, ask if any one of these athletes around had 1 kilo less. All of them are trying to be around 50 kilos. They'll try to be at 49.8, 49.7. That's what it is. Even in those boxing and the weigh-ins, look at those. It is not easy. It is easy for you and me and for everybody else to speak about this who've never played a sport where this factor of weigh-in is a factor. If you and I are sweating, we can lose those 2.5 kilos because most probably we have a little too much on our body, right? But she tried everything possible to get to that weight after having had 3 fights yesterday. And yeah, it was asking too much of the body. That's the reality. Also, can any player be registered mid-season place of any injured one? Rupam, normally not. You've got transfer windows to sign players. You potentially could replace someone only if that player is a free agent. That's the only thing. A free agent who's not attached to any club, who is not playing anywhere, he can be signed. For clubs like Punjab, how we recommend fan engagement? They're having everything but right, but just fans. Ogni, the main thing is they need to start playing in Punjab or close to Punjab. That's the major thing. If they're going to play close to Punjab, they will get the fans. Playing in Delhi is a pain. You know, so that's something one has to be honest. Contribution of FSDL in Indian football so far. First credit, 14 years. Didn't break the contract with the AIFF and leave. They've done that in basketball. So FSDL, you know, have paid their money so far, about 700 crores to the AIFF since 2010. Creating to me, the main thing what they've done is creating the ISL, trying to create an ISL ecosystem, which is not perfect, why not? But we've created certain standards, be it venues, be it training grounds, be it facilities for fans at the stadiums, be it broadcast, you know, and brought in investors who have turned down the opportunity to do something in football. You know, to get the Tatas to invest into a club is a big thing, and other corporates as well. So those are things, you know, Mr. Goenka has been investing for 10 years into whatever it has been called, or if Athletic the goal giant, all of those things, you know, those are the positives that they brought. Have they done, as I say, have they done everything right? By far not. Surely not. You know, I honestly don't think the whining about when Phogat's winning scenario rule is a rule. Chalta hai, and Jugaad doesn't work. Jugaad doesn't work at a stage at a big stage. Ishan very well said. That's as I say, I feel for her as an athlete because for what she's gone through over the last 18, 19 months. But the rules are the rules, and you know, and I feel that we are at the Olympics. You're trying to fight for gold. There won't be any succession. Won't be success. Not I'm going to perform more than expectations. Sanskar, I've been following the Olympics very generally. As you by now know, I'm based in Germany. So for me, Indian overperform. I don't know. Maybe you have a story, but I don't see any. Vinesh Phogat would have been most probably the general surprise story of these Olympics. Or Manu Bhaskar will most probably be the one, but otherwise, where are the success story from the men's side? I don't see them. East Bengal fans aren't thinking they will not get banned because of history. They literally think they're right, and they think the contract with Mohun that is wrong, so Mohun will get banned. Blue, but even if the Mohun Bagan contract is wrong, you have approached a player who is on contract. So even if Mohun Bagan violated things, East Bengal also violated things. I think that's what we need to wake up to. That is where, and that is the point that I say is that East Bengal fans should wake up to that window. East Bengal has done very, very well. But this one, your people have messed up. And those who've messed up normally in other clubs, in other world, if this was happening in Europe, the people who messed up would have been fired by now. The club would go to the PSC and say, I'm very, very sorry. We have fired the people who did this mistake. That's not going to happen. And this shows the problem of Indian football, accountability. And it doesn't matter. We're talking in this case of East Bengal. I can talk about any other club. And I can say for myself, I was accountable to myself at least. I can go and wake up in the morning and look in the mirror. Most of these people should not be doing that. That is the reality. I'm East Bengal fan. I don't think so. Who told you that? Manok, I think you're willing to understand. Just one second. You're willing to understand the nitty-gritty of things. I will also say that we have a lack of understanding of the rules and regulations in Indian football. Why is it, except me, that nobody actually put this question out on the first day in this whole Anwar issue? Nobody. All these so-called great journalists, or what you want to call them, content creators and whoever, blah, blah, who puts out stuff on X or whatever, Twitter we want to call it. Why didn't they put out anything? Do they know the rules of football? Do they understand the rules and regulations of football? It's the same people who are now crying about, the Olympics. So, yeah. That's the problem. And again, it's not an East Bengal thing. I said it last year also when the Blasters had the issue. I openly said the referee is right to do what he did. Your coach walked off, even if he was wrong. Let's say the referee was wrong. If Crystal John had been wrong, you do not walk off a field out of a match, period. But hey, the Blasters fan said, our coach is a hero and he should be there. And then, badam, you got multiple fines in multiple crores, in a lot of crores. I'm not getting the investment happen in Rajasthan United. Mohun Sporting does that. Investor invested in both of the clubs, or what I saw in video, but I'm not getting clarity. Can you confirm? Abhishek, the investor is not invested in Rajasthan United. He was going around to try and, do something with multiple entities. He was talking to multiple ID clubs to try and sort out an investment. That did not happen. Then, a few days before the announcement, I think it was actually 3 or 4 days before the announcement, they suddenly got in touch. They started talking. And then that investment into Mohun Sporting happened. So therefore, to me, this is where it stands at the moment. And therefore, let's wait and see what Strategy Sports does. And, Let's see. Abhijit, I'm feeling that Bengal clubs lack long-term vision and innovative thinking and ambition compared to their financial muscle and fan base. Do you think I'm right? Like why they didn't come up idea of ISL? Yeah, Abhijit, you're right. I think you're spot on. I think the point is that for them, it's about the next season. For both these teams, right? It's not about if Mr. Goenka and Mohun Bagan were smart, they would say, listen, 5 to 10 crores of what we're spending on our first team, we'll put it to the side and build grassroots and youth football. And you will be producing your own players in the next 10 years, right? Let's say 10 crores of the money they're spending. The salaries are ridiculous in the ISL. Ridiculous. But, you know, so therefore, yeah, they have, and the positive, the fan base being a positive, and we see this whole East Bengal discussion at the moment. The fan base is actually part of the problem and not part of the solution. The fan base should be telling their club and say, listen, guys, you've done something wrong. Just admit to it that you did something wrong. We're not going to do it. Sports for All SFA is part of Kalo India program, I believe. Sorry, not FSA. That was a typo. Okay, good. Okay. Say, I understand when you said Fuse and lost it now. I can feel you. Monak, I'm not talking about you, but I live in Kolkata. I had very good friends East Bengal who think like this. Yeah, that's the problem. Shuvrato, I don't think Germany was better. India was much, much more better. They had a lot more circle penetration. India could have buried the game in the first half itself. They missed much, much more chances. Shuvrato, first quarter, yes. But if you look at the rest of the game, the longer it lasted, it is, I think it was Germany. And I stick to that. Again, we don't need to agree on this. You have an opinion, I have an opinion. The result stands anyway, so that's the reality. To me, in the end, it could have been a huge win. Again, India with those 5 penalty corners, yes, could have, but a penalty corner, and again, India's penalty corner conversion in this tournament was quite poor. So even 5 penalty corners doesn't mean that you're gonna get, and that's the thing, right? But the point is, look at the gameplay and look at especially the gameplay in the third quarter and especially then in the fourth quarter. Can't believe the level of toxicity on Twitter recently. Dheeraj got injured and people are now wishing for Puya's injury as well. Ripam, that's the sad part, right? I mean, I don't know in what kind of world we're sometimes living these days in 2024 that people actually wish players to get injured. Again, if I like a player or not, again, if I don't like a club or I don't like a player, I don't like them. But to wish them injury, death, pest, cholera, whatever, no. Said you think some stakeholders in the academy are using wrong training methods and it's also inhuman towards these kids. Nishant, I don't know which ones you're talking about, but again, the right, the wrong, there is nothing. Again, to me, is we're not producing better quality players. That's my point at the end of the day. I think that's what we need to work towards, and that is the thing which is not happening, right? That is our biggest problem at the moment. We're not producing better players, and that's so that's the reality. Peter Hartley retired. What's your view on that? Great player. Had some great seasons in India, and I wish him all the best for his retirement. Yes, some of friends who are East Bengal fans who are generally sensitive literally stop listening about this issue. They think they already know everything and everything media is bought by Mohun Bagan. That's the problem. No? We are in this situation with BFC versus Blasters. The Blasters fans were doing the same thing. But I said it could be 100%, 180 degrees the other side. Ogni, be honest enough. I guess you have enough Mohun Bagan fans who would say the same thing. So what would you say for gender laws in Olympic Games earlier? Also, gender has been a controversial thing by books. Ogni, I think it wasn't a controversy, it was made a controversy. Those 2 boxers are female by birth. So there is no transgender issue. It's a right-wing thing which is happening around the world to use. Because also it is like Christian sentiment was heard by that, whatever they were depicting, and were depicting some Greek old supper thing. And it wasn't, the Last Supper of Jesus Christ. So again, if you want to pick on some things, you can pick on things. And again, there are people on this planet who live in their own world. They don't live in reality. That is my biggest problem in today's world. We have people who do not live in reality. Huge problem. There is one thing I always say, in most things, there is right and there is wrong. Either you believe in the right or you don't want to believe in the right, and you will create an alternative reality to say why the right is wrong. And that's what's happening. You know? Diptaraj, I think Rajan was playing very smart. He's actually using EB YouTubers and fans are looking at public support. Yeah, but Diptaraj, I think his public support that he had earlier, I think has crumbled quite massively over the last few months. Supporting Egos too much, doing this, doing that, whatever. Sorry. And I know what he's done earlier, which has harmed Indian football. So let's not get into that conversation. Right? That's the reality. If these are your heroes, then good night, Indian football. Srinjoy, Vignesh, and Rao, KP, any news? Nothing at the moment. Sanskar, Ripam, asking Ripam why people wishing for India reason. Shillong, Trao, Zaza can host ILX the match to promote it. Ogni, I don't think so. It isn't just about the stadiums. It's also about getting in, moving out, hotels, transport. Northeast is quite difficult. I know that Northeast United wanted to play in Shillong, but that's a 4-hour drive from Guwahati. There are logistics involved, and that is sometimes at certain parts of the country not so easy to get to. Bajaj is smart enough to answer with the risk of this termination, so I consider him as dumb. That's your opinion, Blue. Apart from football, where do you think Indian sports lacks is infrastructure? People who running federation matters. Murali, I think it's in the running of the sports, and football is just reflection of other sports. So football is not an exception. Football is part of the Indian sporting ecosystem, and it's being reflected on what's happening in Paris at the moment with the overall poor results. Again, India, you can't say India is not spending money on sports. India is spending money. Is it spending enough? By far not. I saw someone send me something. 1 second, let me see. 1 second. I've had something. Someone send me something. So the Indian sport budget is 3,300 crores. That means 11 rupees per person per year is being spent on sport. The Chinese, meanwhile, is 3 lakh crores. That means 6 rupees per person per day is spent on sports, meaning they spend 2,100 rupees per person per year on sports, 190 times more than India. Just to give you a reality check of why China is getting so many more medals. Some people talk so them, they always want others to get injured. Yeah, Blue. Not only there. Just generally, my advice is, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying to convince anyone of what's right, what's wrong. But to me, is simple. If either you're on the right side or you're on the wrong side. If you're on the wrong side, you're not with me, right? As I say, I will not be always right. I will also say things which might be wrong afterwards or turn out to be wrong, and I'll then say it's wrong. Or if I don't know something, I will say, sorry, I don't know. And I know a lot of people talk about everything and not knowing anything. Vinesh Phogat is a very good example. Everyone suddenly is an expert on weight and this and that and everything. And they didn't even know it existed today in the morning when they woke up. Do you think Bajaj divide Kolkata into 2 clubs fans, just like British divide East and West Bengal? Sanskar, it's a different thing. I don't know. Again, he was trying to also cozy up to Mohun Bagan fans and was trying to sort of create a path again. I will not cozy up to East Bengal fans. I will not cozy up to Mohun Bagan fans, because when they are wrong, I will say that they are wrong. I even said it to BFC. I remember I said in a Super Power Football video with Ankush many years back, I felt the behavior of BFC fans was not right. When Robinson came to play in Bangalore in an East Bengal shirt, they abused him. And he was a hero at BFC when he was playing for them. So again, be rough, tough to your opponents. I'm fine with that. But someone who's worn your shirt, has won you trophies, give that player some respect. I know it's going to be tough. For example, Mumbai City will be a tough one for Greg Stewart. But hey, he's taken that decision. Is it the right one? In my opinion, no. But he's made that decision. He has to live with it. We move on. You try again. If that's what these people are willing to do, let them do that. Okay. So what happened in Olympics? How Vinesh Phogat got disqualified? Shuman, she was overweight. So you have to be among 50 kilos, and supposedly she was about 100 grams overweight. Therefore, she got disqualified this morning. Swapni Kushale had win medal in shooting, so think is underdog men shooting story. Yeah. This you only care about views, nothing care about fans, Anwar or anything other, even they had football knowledges. Sanskar, that's part of the problem, I guess. There's a lot of people talking about things which, again, I think, forget football. You know, and to me, football minded, again, social media is a very dangerous place overall. Mohun Bagan is overpaying so many players, that's why that can't give Anwar a permanent deal. Maybe, maybe not. Again, if I see the amount that they signed Anwar for, then for Mohun Bagan, it makes sense to say, you know what, we want to keep that contract. For Mohun Bagan, from their perspective, it makes 1,000% sense to say, listen, we will keep this old contract in place because they are for the money that they or even other clubs are paying for other players. Anwar was a cheap buy for them. It was a steal last year at the time when they signed him. So therefore, yeah, that's it made sense for them at the time. So therefore, that's a tough one. And I was now modern day UFC fighter wake up at 4 and 4 hours they lose weight more than 2 kilos in match day. Can this done in Olympics? Shyam, I'm not an expert on this topic on losing weight. And different sports, different body compositions, you know, wrestlers, weightlifters, judokas are rather heavy boxers. UFC guys are more flexible, strong. Again, it's a physiology of your body, very complicated. I couldn't say. Again, there might be other athletes. I know that for example, cyclists lose. There was a ridiculous figure of how many kilos they lose when they drive every day the Tour de France, and they have to, with electrolytes and other things and protein intakes, just to keep it, even though they're thin like nothing. Right. Those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to arunfoot here on YouTube. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, moving towards slowly to the 1,500 mark. That's the short-term aim, and then grow it. And 21 likes so far. So do like the videos that we have today and on the earlier ones as well. And thank you as always, guys, for your support. Well, now that every living struggle for existence, you choose the path, you have to live with that. Kumar, very well said. That's the reality. And I think a lot of people these days choose the path of, you know what, I don't care about the rest. I do it my way and don't care about, you know, about the world, about nature, about this, about that. I have opinion and I live with that opinion. People are not willing to have a discussion on things. And I always say is that, you know, let's discuss. If the other person has reasons to say why he or she is able to convince me why what they're saying is right, I'll take it. You know? So, MJ obviously so many players. That's one. No, that as we've discussed, most of them are not fans. These were fans who are only hating him because he insulted and reject and choose we as one fans and move on. Exactly, Sanskar. I think that's the thing. Hi Deepak, welcome back. 2 days back, I saw a cover page with large face and written, "He is born to play chess and show all how to play." These youths are really dumb or just doing it because someone else told them to. Tifturaj, I can't say anything about other people. You have to ask them why they do it. Yeah. As I say, I have been saying the same thing from the first day. And I'm the only one who said it from the first day. I think most of people didn't even realize what kind of trouble Anwar got into. I tweeted about it, said, listen, this is just the start of the Anwar Ali saga. So I know, and I've said a lot of things over the last year, which have all happened. So I know that knowledge, understanding, insights count for something. Didn't I say that all our laughing, jumping up and down after the SAF Cup is useless? We will be exposed in the Asian Cup. Yeah, I said. Didn't I say that in September we will face chaos because of the whole scheduling mess that the AIFF is not? The fans wanted us to play Asian games. I said, send the under-20s. I said all of that. So these people have a lot to learn. This is experience. This is knowledge. I'm not sitting there in front of a camera and talking, and I don't actually know. I've never worked in the system. I've worked enough in the system. I know what I've done in Indian football and for Indian football. Anyone can challenge me on that. Please do. We can have a conversation. We can have a debate. But I'm not going to say that I know everything. I can't. No human being can know everything. Indian football is just way too big. But I always say there is a right or wrong. It's bad luck for India all the way. I think Bangladeshi population curse India and so many near misses in hockey, wrestling, shooting. Origin, these are not curses from anybody. Either Olympics is also, if you're good, you're going to win medals. This is on their own system. Didn't you guess, Punjab? What do you think about the match? They won it. They did great. Not only that, but they won it against Aston Villa as well. But if Everton, Aston Villa use their chances, they score more. That's also a reality which a lot of people, East Bengal played two substandard teams in Durand prior to ACL. Two qualifiers, still defense looked to be in trouble at times. Do you think East Bengal defense can cope with Altin Asir attack next week? Why not? I'm not sure if East Bengal is ready for such a competition, because to me, continental football will be tougher. But again, you have East Bengal has a huge advantage. We're playing at home, so East Bengal has to win this. To me, East Bengal has to win this game. But again, huge challenge. It's started by an SC fan, continued by East Bengal fans. Okay. Dixon played today. I think that's why East Bengal defense play poorly. Okay. Morocco's France favorite to bronze and gold at the Olympics. Yeah, I would think so. I think Iran is supporting his own bring Western to Marava. Who knows? It's never going to happen. Ranjit tweets and Charlie tweets reply are blocked. They are not able to take criticism for the public. Yeah, because they are not, forget the criticism. They're not willing to take the reality. I don't have a problem. Criticize me. Please go ahead. But I have to take the reality. That's the problem. Why VAR costs so much? What's the expensive component in the system? Can't we get much cheaper alternative like some cameras and replay system for the referee? The VAR technology has to be FIFA certified. That's the first thing. So it can't be just some guy here locally saying, listen, I'm going to put up some cameras. It has to be, the technology is quite complex and it costs over a crore at each venue at least, if not more, to install. Rivers of wisdom will hate him because he had left Mizzou when nobody expected him to leave. We trolled him in the past, but we move on from him. But I don't understand why current time. Yeah, that's reality. I don't understand as well. Anyway, let's leave it. That's better, guys. In my opinion, rules should be like Vinesh should have been awarded silver. She won previous matches while her weight was under designated limit prior to these matches in Zuhashwa. Moinok can be discussed, but I think the rules are the rules, and the rules are the same for everybody. So therefore, it's sad for her. But again, everybody knew the rules. And the rules which were utilized now, you can't now come afterwards and say, listen, just change the rules now. Can't do it. As sad as it is, from any perspective. Charles Darwin could. Okay. Thanks, Kumar. According to what will be the mess Uniform fans will have to endure in future, of which we are already in it. And I think social media is not helping, in my opinion. I don't know. I might be wrong. Correct me, guys. But in my opinion, social media these days is not helping. It is amplifying negativity. My biggest fear is at the next derby in Kolkata that there will hopefully won't be any riots. And people won't be injured, or people might hopefully will not be killed, So to me, that we're moving towards that side, and that's a fear that I have. I don't know if other people have it, because there's a certain section of fans of both East Bengal and Bagan are so radicalized now in their own way. That they don't want to accept. And again, I always say is shout your heart out, shout your lungs out during the 90 minutes, abuse the opponent. But after 90 minutes, you should be able to sit across the table. Let's say in India would say have a tea. In Europe, would say most probably have a beer or have some other drink together. This is getting tougher and tougher, right? And that is something which I'm very worried about. Rules are rules. We can't change it. We should now need to move on. Hope she stays strong. Yeah, Blue. That's the thing. The problem is Vignesh competed at 53 kilo, but now she competed 50 kilos. She cut weight for day one, but cutting weight again for day two. Her body didn't allow. Bad luck for her, just support her in tough time. Rohit, very well explained. I think that's the whole issue. And that is the question I think that needs to be asked. There is no doubt in some cases Mohun Supergiant imagine paid higher than player deserve, but in another case, why they're going to offer him a new contract when they already have a valid contract. SB 1994, you're right. They don't need to offer him a contract. They have him on contract. So therefore, to me, that's part of the thing, right? That's what I'm saying. Mohun Bagan, looking at the prices now, gave him from their side a very, very good contract. So that worked. And that is, I think, the problem, right? Because he and his people saw, listen, I'm earning this much. Look at how much the others are earning. I need a better contract. That's the whole reason. It's all about money. Anwar is not leaving Mohun Bagan to potentially join East Bengal or some other team because he has a love for another team. He just wants to leave because he wants more money. That's the reality. Would SAF Cup 2000 ever even happen? Yeah, Origin. Why would it not happen? SAF Cup will happen. SAF Cup has always happened. Prateek, Indian athletes are choked and lost their nerves in the most crucial season, which is costly, same like the football team, in my opinion, it's psychological aspect. There are team psychologists there, Prateek. It's not, you're not coming up with a new idea. There's sports psychologists there. And Olympics is another beast altogether. If you want to compete and be successful. But I also find it crazy that, after this whole Vinesh Phogat case, that people are saying, oh, you know what, the whole Indian contingent is down. It doesn't work. To me is, you have to look at yourself. Whatever's happening around you, forget it. Focus. At least when I was playing sports and trying to win, I focus on myself. Forget what everything else is happening about you. Neglected for years in grassroots youth football, reflecting senior football bigger tournaments. Yeah, Anwar Ali. Omang Dudum should be picked in under 20 qualifier squad. Prasanjit, I don't know if they're going to pick him or not. Mohammed, thoughts on BC doing group stage Durand Cup? I feel Zaragoza will have a good problem with the options for attack up front, but still waiting to see how this works out in the ISL. Mohammed, I think this is too early. Again, I've seen some of the highlights, but again, I think the ISL will be at that time a different kind of beast. And yeah, there is still over a month to go for the ISL to kick off. And then once the ISL starts, we'll see. Why is there so much fight between East Bengal and Molma, and what is the need of fuel in metros and other roads? Is family vengeance? Kumar, I think it reflects the problem in society. And again, it's not a Kolkata problem or an India problem. I think it's a global problem. Things are getting, as I say, you're not willing to accept someone else's opinion. And if you think you are right, even though you're wrong, you will try and fight for your opinion. And again, and that is something which needs to be understood. We have, for East Bengal fans, East Bengal has not won a national level league title since 2004, since the NFL. That's a long, long time. And those things are difficult factors, in my opinion, which are causing some of these problems where, I feel fans have become a little desperate for success. And again, East Bengal to me, has done a very good job this transfer window. If you look at the signings, some very, very good signings. Yes, they've fallen into the trap of which is at Mohun Bagan Supergiant as well, overpaying players ridiculously. But they have a good squad, and that Indian centre back was sort of the final piece of the puzzle, and that's the question. Maybe I don't know if it's level of desperation, arrogance, whatever, to try and reach out to Anwar. Other teams spoke about him, but no one took him. Right? Most of the clubs in India, isolated means they have fans think that the best club in India, but any team beat them or expose them, they does not accept reality and move on. Yeah, Sanskar, that's the reality. That's well summed up. There is no super duper team in India. All teams, again, Mohun Bagan and Mumbai City are most probably the two teams who've been better than the rest in the last 2 years. But things might change this season. So therefore, these are realities, and we need to move on, and we need to try and improve Indian football. But again, and there is banter, for example, healthy banter. It's good for football. That's a must. So let's wait and see what happens. We all know that Mohun East Bengal University and many others are interested in grassroots development, but isn't this an opportunity for other smaller teams to have players and sell them at inflated prices? Obviously, yes, but until you develop players, it will take another 5 to 10 years of better quality, right? We are not producing the quality that I would like to see for us to be able to compete at bigger levels. That's the challenge that I see for Indian football at the moment. I think we need to try and work to create better level talent coming out of India to be able to compete at a higher level. At a higher level. That's the challenge. One more tournament in Chhattisgarh, but our state team is not performing. Really need a club in I-League. Okay, Prasan. Yeah, but who's going to be that club from Chhattisgarh, right? That's going to be then the question. Obviously, when I was interested in the grassroots, if they were interested, they had done in the current time. Yeah, Sanskar, but again, the same question applies to East Bengal as well. We need more Indian coaches like Shankarlal Chakravarti is his surname, who doesn't give results with what they have. Yeah, you could see it like that. I see it a little differently, and I guess in this case, the less I say, the better. It's not feud, it's feud. Okay, feud between the clubs. Again, Prasenjit, there are other things that one can speak about him, what he did and has done. So therefore, Indian coaches are a known breed. People working in football are a known breed, and things need to change. Again, for me, that is one of the most important things that we all need to work towards. I think that things need to change for good. This is why I try and come every evening online and talk and discuss about things and interact with you, try to share my knowledge, my understanding of things. As I say, when I don't know something, I'll say, guys, sorry, I don't know. But we need to spread. We need to have more people part of these conversations and not just ask, hey, listen, is this a transfer, that a transfer, or that's not going to help us. Indian football needs fans who are willing to ask the right questions to people and also understand. Now, Prasenjit tells me that, that guy is a good coach. I can tell you something else, so that's the, so that's the thing. And we need to talk about that. But again, are we in a platform, are we in a situation to talk openly and honestly about all people that work in Indian football? How many people then stay in Indian football? That's the question. I don't know why I said don't hire Thomas Schorsch. What's your take on KFC reserve coach? See, Kumar, I've said this multiple times. Thomas Schorsch has done an excellent job at the Blasters, and you see the results. Is he a first team coach? Don't see him as that. Maybe a good assistant, and maybe someone who works with the reserve team, but he's done very, very good work at the Blasters, and one can only compliment him for that. Is a lot of anger towards Argentina team in France? Is it exclusive from African community? Abhijit, the anger is generally in France. This is the other thing you have to understand. It's not something, um, you know, that needs to be understood. The French in general were upset. It is targeted at one community, and this shows you the problem of racism in South America, which has not been understood. Do you understand that? In India, people also don't understand what racism is. It is not a one-way street, you know? Yeah? So therefore, yeah, that's the reality that you see. Difficult to understand, but again, I think the world doesn't know enough about each other. And this Argentina thing with France just highlights that you think something is funny, you think it's banter, but the other side think it's racist, you know. And that's, for example, some of the stuff which is said about East Bengal is outright racist. Yes, East Bengal is the club of people who originally originated of what today is East Bengal, which is Bangladesh. But they've come over to Kolkata or to West Bengal or to other parts of the country. So why call them Bangladeshis? Right? So therefore, this understanding needs to be there. That's one of the things which I think people need to understand, which is a huge problem in society these days. Why I said clubs will hire coaches at all? Why I said clubs will hire coaches at all else like him? Kumar, Thomas Schultz is not the exception. There are other coaches as well, but you know, it's for them to think of what they want to build, what they don't want to build. The Blasters have given some focus on their under 21s and under 18s, and this is the end product. So therefore, yeah, they've done some things right, and that's something that the others need to now copy, rectify, and do better. Right? That is something. This is something that other teams in the ISL can learn. Naushad Musa had good outing with under 20 against Malaysia. He should have given more matches with them to prove himself, become permanent. Prasanjit, the first question is: does Naushad want to be permanent with the India under 23s? I don't think so. He's got a job to do development work at Northeast United. The second thing is this right to run a system where the under 23, under 20, and under 17 coach comes in and goes out? Can't we appoint permanent coaches? So this is the challenge. These are the challenges that we face. So yeah, I had a lot of mocking of US women's national team of pay gap complaints. Can you explain the topic, please? Abhijit, the point was from the American women that they are more successful than the men, and they wanted equal pay. You know, and while the US Soccer Federation from their side said, you know what, our revenues are mainly coming in from the men's team. You are not a revenue earner. So there was discussion about what to not to do, and again, there is a pay gap in most national team setups or prize money also. If you see what I said, if the US team wins the men's World Cup, what they would get and what money the women get if they win it. And that's one of those topics, one of those problems. And they tried to rectify it in America. And yeah, and that's one of those, you know, that's something which has been done, and they've been successful. But again, they are the most successful team in women's football. Are also in the final of the Olympics once more, beat Germany in extra time yesterday. So yeah, let's wait and see. What's the future for clubs like Bodla and Rangjit? Only Durand Cup then? Rangjit plays in the local Shillong League, so that's their home. Durand Cup is a bonus, and Bodoland plays in tournaments in Assam, so that's where they are, of course, home. We need mixing culture in the ISL that can solve ISL toxicity. Look at the PKL; there are also a lot of fans, but they do not do toxic like this, like just ISL clubs fans do. I think it's a very football thing. If you look at other sports, I don't see these kind of toxic elements around the world. If you look at NFL is a party. It's a barbecue. It's a drinking thing. What they do. NBA, you go and watch a game, match and watch home. You know, and other sports. And this is forget ISL. This is a global football thing. Weirdly, I don't know why, but that's the reality. Why ISL clubs invest in all youth department getting good special youth overall at all age levels? Kumar, it's a cost thing. Very simple. It's a cost thing. Are the clubs willing to invest the money to bring in specialists to be better down the road? Very simple. And that's the question that we need to ask ourselves. Are they willing to do it or not? And I think that's the tough one, right? That the clubs, everyone's losing money. And yeah, that's the reality it is. I want KBFC to win Durand Cup, so Durand Cup can also popular in the south. Okay. What do we gain by making the Durand Cup more popular in the south or anywhere else? Doesn't matter where we make it popular. It's a preseason tournament. Start and finish. Sadly, as a reality. I don't think mixed cultured ISL teams will work. It sounds like forcing something not natural. I'm still not sure what we mean by mixed cultured ISL teams. Can someone explain that to me? Did Schalke get relegated and the fans ran after him? Looked funny. Yeah, Vijit, they got relegated from the Bundesliga. And then the fans, yeah, were upset, right? I mean, these are people who are spending time, money, effort to watch the team at home and away. There's 61,000 people coming every 2 weeks to their home matches, even in the second tier. That is dedication. Was it right? Of course not. But this is something, as I say, this is a global phenomenon with football. So will you predict the win after knockout teams get finalized? Yeah, Blue. My problem with Durand Cup is I've not seen a second. I can't see the Durand Cup at the moment. I can't see. I watched some highlights, but from highlights, you can't make judgments. Very difficult. So therefore, let me see how much info I have. Maybe I will do it. Maybe not. Let's see what I do. Was the player draft system only in 2014? No, Ripon. It was also, I think 2017 was Bangalore and Jamshedpur came in. I think it was in 2017 as well. Do you think Bhaji Bhutia would have done a better job than Kalyan as the AIFF president? Difficult one, Rohit. I mean, Bhutia is. The point is not who's the president. The point is who do you have around him in the AIFF, in the EXCO? What kind of leadership skills do you have to take this whole ship forward? That's, I think, a big challenge. The AIFF is not easy to manage. So I'm not sure if Baichung would have done something better than the others. My wish would have been yes, that Bhutia would have done better, but I don't know if Baichung would have done better. I can't tell you that. That's too much of theory, but no practicality. So for me, the potential is there that Baichung could do better, but will he be? Again, the problem of the AIFF is not one person. As I've done in my series on the future of Indian football, watch it if you haven't. I did an episode on leadership. So therefore, my second episode is on leadership, my third one is on stakeholders. Watch those two episodes if you haven't. That, I think, explains you quite a bit. Because leadership has to come from the top. And you have to, as I like to say, you also have to say the critical stuff, the tough stuff. You have to mention. Otherwise, it will not work. We need to do all of those things. Otherwise, we will not move forward. Right? That's the challenge. When will you do squad review? Closer to the ISL. We're still too far away, more than 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Do you happy see after seeing Indian clubs perform in the Gen Cup, or still think these players have done better than this? The two matches I watched live, we were pathetic. East Bengal and Mutut were not good enough. 6 goals, 7 goals. Punjab have seen as well, better, but you know, it's not good enough. So therefore, it needs to be better. As I say, we need to be better. Yes, Punjab FC in patches good, but if the English sides utilize the opportunities, that's also football. It ends differently. And a 90-minute match, I don't think Punjab FC would be able to survive against such teams if they're playing with the first 11. Any match, do you feel what you're going on, whether it's India match or an international match? Any match, did you feel what is going on, whether it's India match? Could you rephrase the question only? I'm not understanding your question. Off topic, but how Germany deals with far right after World War II, news about Ukraine in a neighborhood and ultra right take over in India. So social science seems concerning. It happens here as well. It has happened in the past. I think in the UK it is more prevalent at the moment, but the problem of right wing is there in Germany, it's there in the Netherlands, it's there in Belgium, in France, in Italy, in Spain, Switzerland, Austria, it's there everywhere. What would solution to stop something on social media? Sanskar, common sense. If everybody just switched on their brain and just thought what they're saying, is it right or wrong? And it starts with at the top with Mr. Musk. Then so that's the thing. Do you think Vietnam didn't able to achieve its potential despite good structure and federation system? Really, football is not something. It's not a business. It's not chess. You plan, you structure, and the success is on the field. And they've had successes on the field, and now in the last year they've had a few failures. That's reality. Do you know Duvrati? Any opinions about him? I don't know him. I've seen some things, and he raises some questions, or valid or not. That's for others to judge. No, basically, in any organization, any political party, all the shots are called by party leader, CM or PM. If it's like a political party, you have to satisfy most of the people. You should know how to manage people egos. Okay. Nowadays, everyone runs the political parties. This is very shameful for us. Yeah, Shubhajit. That's the reality of sports in India. Even cricket in India is pretty toxic. It's an Indian thing too. I fear it is a very, very Indian thing at the moment. Yeah, this toxicity is something that is a big problem of Indian society or of India in 2024. I find it very disturbing to say the least. And the pathway, it's not right. Kishore Bharati looked wonderful today. His sons were clearly visible. As reviews, we'll get something new. Let's hope so. Mohun Sporting commitment from Shachi Group. Yeah. So Rahul Todi. Let's hope all works out fine, and they'll be playing in the ISL in a few weeks. I'm asked, any match that you shocked India football the way it played, an international match didn't live up to expectations? Morally, there are tons of them. I mean, I remember India beat the UAE in 2001 in Bangalore. That was a huge win. But lately, it's India losing to Afghanistan. Pathetic, to say the least, at home. Even educated people are too toxic in the social media. I don't understand who is not educated. Sanskar, the educated ones are the bigger danger, I feel. The uneducated get pulled into this, but the educated ones are very often the instigators. That's what I feel. I don't know. Again, as I say, I might be wrong, but that's my personal feeling on things. What exactly is RS1 TV? Saw it on your website. RS1 TV is a local television channel, Remscheider Stadtfernsehen, local TV. I'm the co-founder of the local television channel. So yeah, that's what I also do besides all the other work around the world. AK3814, do you think that if any club appoints someone like Thomas Schorsch at the grassroots level, they could produce world-class players? Thomas is producing better players than others, surely. Can he produce world-class players? The question is, it's not on him only, and the club that appoints him. I think it's the system, right? For me, if Thomas Schorsch creates the ecosystem with the club, want to be successful, the question then is, can the club create the ecosystem for him to be creating better talent? Because the problem is not on the club only. As I always say, grassroots youth, coaches, competitions. The competitions part is important. The competitions part is so important that if you don't have the possibilities of playing week in, week out against better opponents, how can you create better talent? These are the challenges I think that we're suffering from at the moment. This is what makes it very, very difficult for Indian football. So yeah, these are realities. You think Africa countries couldn't reach its potential because of lack of money or quality of players matters? Only results, sometimes results. There are, again, you saw India at least should have gotten a silver today, but an off-field issue took it away. So yeah, Africa has done very well, but it's not been what it should. And now the AIFF election will happen only once 4 or 5 years. There will be by-election and if you're electing new president of AIFF. It happens 4 or 5 years, depending on the constitution. At the moment, why should there be by-elections and why should new president? Where does the new president topic come up? I don't know, Kumar, where this comes up. Do you think Glazers hate is justified, Man U fans, or that's what businessmen do? Not everyone is Abramovich or oil sheikh. See, that's the Man United fans have a similar problem, right? Why? Because they haven't won the EPL since 2013. Of course, the Glazers haven't done the best for the clubs in certain parts. Look at the status of the stadium. Look at the state of Carrington as a training center. But they still spent billions on players. So it's a question of management. How did Shineri pull off such a good young and such national team player? Panama has a rank of 35, I think. Contacts. Devrup, simple contacts. But my question is the player really fit, or is there a reason why he's coming to India? Out of topic question, foreigners say India is third world country after living China. How do you see India? Murli, if you come from abroad, like I know India, I like India, I love India, so to ask me would be wrong. But for someone who doesn't know India and he comes from a very organized system, if you land at any airport in India and you go out of the airport, for you, India looks very chaotic. So therefore, that feeling has to go. Now, if you have money in India, you can live like a king. If you don't have money, you would die on the road. So these are things that are realities, and for foreigners, yeah, it's there are advantages, disadvantages. India's done a lot of things right, but again, look at Olympics, look at football, then you see what a lot of things that India is doing wrong at the moment. I can't so divide that also reason maybe means if one community players play national team do bad in one match and other community player bench, people think they're going to get unfair and troll. Another problem, Sanskar, yes. Palash, but Rahul Todi is vice president of East Bengal's company as the sponsor of the info position East Bengal women's team now investing. Isn't it a conflict of interest? Palash, let's talk about conflict of interest. Yes, that's a lovely word or lovely phrase that a lot of people use in connection with Indian football. Now, Rahul Todi being vice president of East Bengal, fine. Sponsor of IFA, potentially, to me, not a problem. That he is the key investor, sponsor man, the women's team, not a problem. Investing in Mohun Sporting, that's a problem. Why? That is a conflict of interest because you're involved with East Bengal as a vice president and your company wants to invest in another entity. So that's the conflict. But sponsoring the IFA, because again, there is this thought, okay, there will be back-end deals and whatever. And East Bengal, for example, saying, hey, listen, Kalyan Chaube, AIFF president, Shohini Mitra Chobe, his wife, board member of Mohun Bagan Athletic Club, conflict of interest. Ajit Banerjee, IFA president, appointed to the IFA as an East Bengal member. So this happens. Anuj Gupta, Sudeva Delhi and Delhi FC president. Is it right? Is it wrong? Again, I always say the Borussia Dortmund president or former president, Dr. Reinhard Raubal, president of Borussia Dortmund, the club, not the football entity, but the whole club. Chairman of the Bundesliga, of the DFL, and vice president of the German Football Association. So these things happen around the world. So to me, none of these are conflict. But if you're investing in two clubs in the same league, conflict of interest. Why doesn't anyone ask Rahul? Rahul told you this, yeah. And Ranji Bajaj, Minerva, and Delhi FC should be also asked. Or now the Thomas Schorsch, can he make players better? Up to some level, he will get players for 70 to 100 players. See, Kumar, he's done a good job at Blasters, period. Can he do more? I don't know. I've not worked with him. I can only tell you this if I've worked with the guy. Listen, that's what I always say, right? I have an opinion about things. Yes, I can have. But in this case, in regard to development, this gentleman has done very, very good work at the Blasters. Even worked well when he came under Kibu to Mohun Bagan, right? So therefore, these are things that we need to look at. Right. Sorry, those of you who are new to the channel, please leave a like. Yeah, 23 only today. Huh? It's less than the last few days. Also, subscribe to arunfoot, and those of you who have, thanks a lot, guys. When will FF finance going to without that? How they will organize the next election? Palash, depends on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is a problem. The case is hanging there. Ex-clubs means which players was play in the bigger club in the before the last was bigger foreign player from you win that. Early seasons. Robert Perez, David Trezeguet, Diego Forlan, Anelka, Freddie, those guys. Robbie Keane. Why ISL can't have academies and train far away from citizens where land is much cheaper? I would did for that first. They need to have a desire to build those things. No, that desire is lacking. How do you see Zlatan? I think he dominates mostly with power rather than technique. Morally, to me, so far from the truth. I think Zlatan was an exceptional, talented player. Power wasn't added bonus. So therefore, I'm asking you for election AIFF. Is like the real election to elect government of country? I don't know, Kumar. What do you mean with that? Do you think good player destroyed in our sports system because the people run the sports? There could be multiple reasons, Ali. It could be because of that. It could be the individual athletes. Yeah. So this word is interesting to me, Baranjit Bajaj. Yeah, then you're following the wrong people. Huh? In the India, people life does not matter. Important means many people dies because hard issue, accidents, riots, crime, and so many issues only to vote bank and divide them by politics. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No? Why is no one asking the question regard to Anwar Ali and his heart? Right? I think Ashish Negi football covering good, not only in football, other sports also. You rate him. Ashish doing a great job, and not since yesterday. He's been doing it for a long, long time. We need more Ashish Negis. Even the cricket, we're not domination means we lose with Sri Lanka with the main team. Sanskar, if they win, if they lose, I am not bothered. Do you like to interact words more or with fans? With both, only. I mean, I'm interacting with you guys. You guys are also, I guess, some sort of fans, right? So therefore, I would surely say that. Thomas Schorsch is a fan favorite. Man who has loved the man. We want to buy his book about 20 I-League win, but because he is working with Blasters, can't publish it without MB. AC's permission. Yeah, I remember that story. I asked this from transfer window, which player? Sorry? At this transfer window, McLaren maybe, or yeah, McLaren, Yon Toral maybe. Those would be the ones, maybe Sanskar, if you ask me, in this window. Right, more than 1.5 hours, guys. Once again, those who haven't, please like this video. As I say, share this video and subscribe. 1,435. So thanks for the new subscribers. And yeah. Wait, sorry, where am I? If FIFA cast, which cast is the final decision. Any good things happening at AIFF? We will only listen to bad things from AIFF. Kumar, if good things are happening, then to me, I would certainly talk about it. Toralo Nicholas, Nicolaos, it's Sanskar. So at the moment, I would say Toral, but who knows? Like movies, have you seen Matrix and Dark? Or Last Dance, favorite football or sports movie? Abhijit, I watch movies, but I now watch more stuff on Netflix or Disney Plus. So I'm watching more series. I like sci-fi. That's my topic. Right, guys. I'll end it here. Again, those of you who are watching, thanks a lot. Yes, there are cases which have been overturned by FIFA decisions or even IOC decisions or other sports. So, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks again. One second. Why in social media, I think everybody in this world is making conspiracy against them. Case economy, team, FPL team, umpiring Indians in Olympics using blue. That's part of the problem, and therefore that's the reality, right? So, thanks a lot once again for following, interacting today. As I said, 1,435 people following. So let's grow. Let's get this to 1,500 at least. Let's grow the community. And 25 likes. Okay. And thanks again. So for me, thanks for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll then see you. And as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Watch the other stuff. I'm thinking of doing something tomorrow morning in regard to what's the latest in the Anwar case, what's the stain. That's something I'll do. And then, of course, continue with the future of Indian football series, my thoughts, my ideas. So please follow that as well. So thanks and good night.